for something brave, but I'll never change if I lie here and wait. I keep screaming out that I'm made for something more, but I need to stop and get my feet on the floor. What am I waiting for? I can't say it. What am I waiting for? The answer is no.
You are tuned in to Will the Thrill. Now, here's your host, Will the Thrill.
I'm Will the Thrill, and today we're going to continue my 2018 NFL mock draft with picks 11 through 20. So let's go ahead and get right to it. With the 11th pick in the 2018 NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins will select quarterback Baker Mayfield. Yes, I have Baker Mayfield falling out of the top 10. I think a lot of teams are going to pass on him because they feel he might be over cocky. He might have an attitude problem, and I think a lot of teams are going to not want to take that risk even though they need a quarterback. I think Miami, because Ryan Tannehill being injured the past 2 years and back-to-back quarterback issues with Jay Cutler and Matt Moore, I think they're going to move on and draft Baker Mayfield, and I think it's going to be a very good choice for Miami. With the 12th pick in the 2018 NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills will select defensive tackle Vita Vea. Yes, I don't have Buffalo taking a quarterback in the first round, and here's why. Last year, the coach expressed a lot of confidence in Nathan Peterman, even though he played ridiculously bad, and they went out and they signed A.J. McCarron. I think they might take a quarterback in the second round. There's a possibility a top 5 quarterback falls to them then, i.e. Lamar Jackson. Big possibility. But I think in the first round, they're going to stick by building defense. With the 13th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins will select cornerback Mike Hughes. This will be a huge pick for Washington. Their defense struggled a lot last year. I know they have Josh Norman on one side of the cornerback, but after that, their defense is very weak in depth. They have Ryan Kerrigan in the middle. They don't really have a strong D-line. I feel like they really could use the help in the secondary. And Mike Hughes is a perfect, versatile player. You see right here, he's returning punts. You can use him in many different ways, but he's definitely a very strong corner, and this will be a great pick for Washington. With the 14th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers will select defensive back Derwin James. I think this possibly could be the steal of the draft. Him falling to 14th will be huge. I feel like he's one of the best hard-hitting safeties in this draft class. Green Bay really needs defensive help. They need to give Aaron Rodgers all the help they can get on the other side of the ball. Rodgers is good with whatever you give him on offense. You have to build a defense around him. That's your only shot at actually getting to the Super Bowl, is if you have defensive help to support your quarterback. With the 15th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals will select quarterback Lamar Jackson. I know I mentioned earlier in the mock draft that he might fall to the second round of Buffalo, but I think a lot of teams are going to panic and take a quarterback, and I think that's kind of almost what Arizona's going to do. They have Mike Glennon and Sam Bradford, so I feel like if they get Lamar Jackson, they can plug him in. Like I mentioned before with previous quarterbacks in the draft, he doesn't have to start right away. There's not that pressure to force him in because I don't think he's fully developed and he'll have time to sit behind 2 quarterbacks. With the 16th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens will select offensive tackle Orlando Brown. I feel like recently Joe Flacco hasn't been consistent. There's a lot of talk if he's been elite or not, and I think a lot of that is due to his protection on the O-line. He hasn't really gotten that, and he's been in and out with injuries the past couple years, so I think to revamp his career, they have to rebuild their O-line with Orlando Brown. With the 17th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the LA Chargers will select offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I feel like this will be a great pick for LA. Phillip Rivers is getting up there in age, and I feel like almost like a Joe Flacco situation. If you want your quarterback to be consistent and play well, he's got to have good protection. This also benefits Melvin Gordon. You got to have O-linemen to set up holes. That's their guy. With the 18th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks will select wide receiver Calvin Ridley. This will be Russell Wilson's dream pick. They lost Jimmy Graham. They lost Jermaine Kearse last season. They need a star receiver to play with their star quarterback. Calvin Ridley is probably the best receiver available in this draft class, and I feel like you plug him in with Russell Wilson, who knows how to get receivers the ball, this will be a perfect pick for Seattle. With the 19th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys will select wide receiver Christian Kirk. This will be a great addition to go along with their young quarterback Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. They have Allen Hurns, who they just signed in free agency, so they have that veteran presence on the offensive side of the ball. I feel like they need a young receiver to build a career to go with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and I feel like the three of them together, their offense was very good in 2015. You add Christian Kirk, who I feel like is a more explosive wide receiver, this could put their offense to that very dangerous level. With the 20th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions will select offensive tackle James Daniels. I feel like Matthew Stafford is a very underrated quarterback, and he plays with a lot of injuries, especially that he suffers in game. I feel like he's another quarterback in the NFL that is not protected well enough. I feel like if Detroit ever wants a chance of getting past the wild card round in the playoffs, they need to protect their star quarterback.
What am I waiting for? The answer is no.